أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي واجعلني وزيرا من أهلي هارون أخي أشدد به أزري وأشركه في أمري كي نسبحك كثيرا ونذكرك كثيرا إنك كنت بنا بصيرا ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصل اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum everyone. Inshallah you're all enjoying your fasting or the month of Ramadan, inshallah. Trying to connect ourselves to the message of the Quran. All our tools, our eyes, our thoughts, our hearts are all hopefully connected in receiving the message of the Quran as much as we can. I pray for myself first and foremost and for all of you as well, that we keep ourselves busy in trying to benefit from the message of the Quran. Ameen, Ya Rabbal Alameen. So we're going to continue inshallah with the rays, and this is the seventh ray, the supreme sign. And this is the journey of a human journey we've been going through. And at this stage, the traveler has reached basically looking into the Quran itself. And he's making a couple of definitions on how what the Quran means, what it stands for, what goes into some of the details. And we're on the sixth point last time, which we started as the first paragraph. We saw that in HBase I had shared a beautiful diagram where she showed how the Quran, the six aspects of it, more of it was like a unassailable citadel or like a fortress, all with these solid and unchallengeable backing behind it, all the proofs and arguments that the Quran presents are unchallengeable. Nobody can challenge it, and it holds forever. It's a timeless piece. So the pillars of argument and proof, we kind of touched upon, briefly mentioned that, and everything that you see around you, that is in basically the universe, witnesses to that as well, are all but miracles which it conveys along with it. So all that it mentions is nothing but the truths revealed from the one who owns the universe. And with that, it brings within the human being true tranquility, not just a temporary, transient tranquility, but hopefully an everlasting true tranquility where we are convinced and satisfied that this message indeed I'm being spoken to by the Lord of the universe, and I'm establishing my relationship with that Lord. So Quran being a wondrous, firm, unassailable citadel of both the heavens and the earth. So let's continue on, and I encourage everyone to share their thoughts, any reactions to how, what the author is sharing. So that would help me, because most of this section is mostly, I would say, is more very definition wise, and one has to reflect for themselves on how they can understand all this, what this author is sharing here. So let's continue, inshallah. So too, from these six levels, the the disposer of the universe, has set his seal on its being sheer truth and right, and not being man's word, and its containing no error, the disposer, who has made it his practice to always exhibit beauty in the universe, containing no error, the disposer who has made it his practice to always exhibit beauty in the universe. Always exhibit beauty in the universe. Protect good and right, and eliminate impostors and liars. Has confirmed and set his seal on the Qur'an by giving it the most acceptable, highest, and most dominant place of respect and degree of success in the world. Has set his seal on the Qur'an by giving it the most acceptable, highest, and most dominant place of respect and degree of success in the world. And so to the one who is the source of Islam and interpreter of the Qur'an, his believing in it and holding it in greater respect than everyone else, and being in a sleep-like state when it was revealed, and other words and speeches not resembling or coming near it. And that interpreters describing without hesitation and with complete confidence through the Qur'an true cosmic events of generally the past and the future from behind the veil of the unseen, and no trickery or fault being observed in him while being under the gazes of the sharpest eyes. No trickery or fault being observed in him while being under the gazes of the sharpest eyes, and his believing and affirming every pronouncement of the Qur'an with all his strength, and nothing shaking him, is a stamp confirming that the Qur'an is revealed. Is a stamp confirming that the Qur'an is revealed and true, and the blessed word of his own compassionate creator. Also, a fifth of mankind, indeed, the greater part of it, being drawn to the Qur'an and bound to it in religion, and giving ear to it eagerly, desirous of the truth, and according to the testimony of many indications and events and illuminations, the jinn, angels, and spirit beings, also gathering around it in truth-worshipping fashion, like moths, whenever it is recited, is a stamp confirming the Qur'an's acceptance by all beings, and that it occupies a most high position. Also, all the classes of mankind, from the most stupid and lowly to the cleverest and most learned, taking their full share of the Qur'an's instruction and their understanding its most profound truths, and all branches of scholars, like the great interpreters of the greater Sharia in particular, like the great interpreters of the greater Sharia in particular, and hundreds of Islamic sciences and branches of knowledge, and the brilliant and exacting scholars of theology and the principles of religion, extracting from the Qur'an all the needs and answers for their own sciences, is a stamp confirming that the Qur'an is a source of truth and mine of reality. Also, although the Arab literary figures who were the most advanced in regard to literature, those of them who were not Muslims had the greatest need to dispute the Quran. They're avoiding producing the like of only a single surah and its eloquence. Eloquence being only one aspect of the 7 major aspects of the Quran's miraculousness, as well as the famous orators and brilliant scholars up to the present who have wanted to gain fame through disputing it, being unable to oppose a single aspect of its miraculousness, and their remaining silent in impotence, is a stamp confirming that the Quran is a miracle and beyond the powers of man. Yes, the value, superiority, and eloquence of a speech or word is apparent through knowing. The value, superiority, and eloquence of a speech or word is apparent through knowing from what it has come and to whom and for what purpose. From whom it has come and to whom and for what purpose. So any speech that you go through, this is an important aspect, principle to look for. Whom it has come from and to whom it's addressed and for what purpose. The Quran then can have no like and none can reach it. For the Quran is a speech and address of the sustainer of all the worlds and creator of the whole universe, and a dialogue in no way hinting of imitation and artificiality. It is addressed to the one sent in the name of all men, indeed of all beings, the most famous and renowned of mankind, the strength and breadth of whose belief gave rise to mighty Islam and raised its owner to the level of the distance of 2 bowstrings, and returned him as the addressee of the eternally besought one. It describes and explains the matters concerning happiness in this world. It, referring to the Quran, describes and explains the matters concerning happiness in this world and the next, the results of the creation of the universe, and the dominical purposes within it. The Quran expounds also the belief of the one it addresses, which was the highest and most extensive of belief, and bore all the truths of Islam. It turns and shows every side of the huge universe like a map, a clock, or a house, and teaches and describes it in the manner of the craftsman who made them. And teaches and describes it in the manner of the craftsman who made them. To produce the like of this Quran of miraculous exposition is not possible. The degree of its miraculousness cannot be attained to. continue till we reach the conclusion, and then we can go back to this. Also, thousands of precise and learned scholars of high intelligence have each written commentaries expounding the Qur'an, some of which are of 30, 40, or even 70 volumes, showing and proving through evidence and argument the innumerable qualities, fine points, characteristics, mysteries, elevated meanings, and numerous indications concerning every sort of hidden and unseen matter in the Quran. And the 130 parts of the Risale-e-Nur in particular, each of which proves with decisive arguments one quality, one fine point of the Quran, each of which proves with decisive arguments one quality, one fine point of the Quran. Like the miraculousness of the Quran and the second station of the 20th word, which deduces many things from the Quran concerning the wonders of civilization, like the railway and the airplane, and the first ray called Signs of the Quran, which makes known the indications of verses alluding to the Risale-e-Nur and electricity, and the 8 short treatises called the 8 symbols, which show how well ordered, full of meaning, and mysterious are the words of the Quran, and the small treatise proving in 5 aspects the miraculousness of the verses. At the end of Surah Al-Fath, in regard to their giving news of the unseen. Each part of the Risale-e-Nur shows one truth, one light of the Quran. All this forms a stamp confirming that the Quran has no like, is a miracle and a marvel, and that it is the tongue of the world of the unseen in the manifest world, and the word of one all-knowing of the unseen. That it is the tongue of the world of the unseen in the manifest world, and the word of one all-knowing of the unseen. Thus, due to these qualities and characteristics of the Quran indicated above in 6 points, 6 aspects, and 6 levels, its sublime, luminous sovereignty and sacred, mighty rule has continued with perfect splendor, illuminating the faces of the centuries and the face of the earth for 1,300 years. And also on account of these qualities of the Quran, each of its letters has gained the sacred distinction of yielding at least 10 rewards, 10 merits, and 10 eternal fruits, and the letters of certain verses and surahs yielding 100 or 1,000 fruits, or even more. And at blessed times, the light, reward, and value of each letter rising from 10 to hundreds. The traveler through the world understood this and said to his heart, the Quran, which is thus miraculous in every respect, through the consensus of its surahs, the agreement of its verses, the accord of its lights and mysteries, and the concurrence of its fruits and works, so testifies with its evidences in the form of proofs to the existence, unity, attributes, and names of a single necessarily existent one, that it is from its testimony that the endless testimony of all the believers has issued forth. Let me read the conclusion of the traveler again. The Quran, which is thus miraculous in every respect, through the consensus of its surahs, the agreement of its verses, the accord of its light and mysteries, and the concurrence of its fruits and works, so testifies with its evidences in the form of proofs to the existence, unity, attributes, and names of a single necessarily existent one, that it is from its testimony that the endless testimony of all the believers has issued forth. Thus, in brief allusion to the instruction in belief and divine unity that the traveler received from the Qur'an, it was said in the 17th degree of the first station, there is no God but God, the one and unique, necessary existent, to whose necessary existence in unity points the Qur'an of miraculous exposition, the book accepted and desired by all species of angel, men, and jinn, whose verses are read each minute of the year with the utmost reverence by hundreds of millions of men, whose sacred sovereignty over the regions of the earth and the universe and the face of time is permanent, whose spiritual and luminous authority has run over half the earth and a fifth of humanity for more than 14 centuries with the utmost splendor. Testimony and proof is also given by the unanimity of its sacred and heavenly surahs, the agreement of its luminous divine verses, the congruence of its mysteries and lights, the correspondence of its fruits and effects by witnessing and clear vision. All right, I will take a pause here from this long reading, alhamdulillah. And if anybody wants to share any thoughts, any comments, please go ahead. Oriha, do you have anything to say? I think we need to engage also too with the Quran. That's one thing I kind of think about it, to appreciate all the value and all these qualities as the author mentions them in terms of, what the message. First of all, he starts off that all the human questions that you have, all the answers are to be found here. And interestingly, he mentions how the revelation happened. And even for us human beings, as we are studying the Quran, Brother Ali has his classes on Mondays in studying it in a chronological manner, which is how the Quran was revealed to human beings. So it's one of the popular ways of benefiting from, as if it's revealed fresh, first time to you, new, and you're seeing what is it, the one who has given you existence is speaking to you. So I see some hands up. Farha, please go ahead.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much. So my comment and question is partly also something that I think as non-native speakers, especially, but otherwise, in engagement with our tradition and communities, it comes to light, and I'm glad that this topic is giving me the chance to sort of think about it. So I set it up this way, that as the author is telling us that there are, in a way, or there are infinite mysteries to not only the meanings of the Quran, but also in its organization, in its order, in ways that are beyond sort of, in a way, possible in a single engagement, and thus it invites one to keep on engaging with it. And so one thought that comes to me is like, okay, in that sense, I could think that engagement with the Quran in any capacity, and I'm specifically also trying to refer to the idea of like recitation and listening, or just sort of, the other sort of, you could say, um, sensual aspects of it when people rewrite it, or and beautify sort of its sort of the beauty of it, both in its sight and its sound. um, and but they may, and I can speak for myself, but I may not understand, the linguistic meaning of it, or have spent time thinking about its sort of the content. In that case, my initial reaction used to be, or is, sort of, if I'm not understanding the meaning of it, what is the purpose of listening to its mere recitation? But what I'm getting a sense from this particular part of what we're reading today is that there is a mystery in it, that I cannot deny it, that it exists, despite the fact that it might not be intellectually being grasped at that moment. So as long as, I guess, there's the whom is it said by, from whom it has come down, to whom, and for what purpose. I guess this is the only three things that, even if one listens to it without understanding the language per se, or reads it, or looks at it, if these three things are in one's mind, then there must be something being imparted, that perhaps cannot be intellectually at that moment be articulated. So I guess that's sort of where I'm thinking, and I'm trying to understand that, how do you all also confront the experience of all the other more traditional ways of engagement with it, which are not intellectual, all the time. How do you come to terms with it in terms of deriving significance, that might be actually equally significant in its effect on me as a human being, as a complete human being, even though it might in that moment not be in a purely or based in an, as I said, an intellectual articulation. I hope I was able to elucidate the question and comment, but thank you again.
Yeah, thank you, Farah. I think it's pretty clear. Brother Ali, please go ahead.
These are good points. I was listening to my friend Farah. I said, yeah, I haven't studied biology. I don't know exactly organically what is going on in the body of, let's say, my favorite fruit, mango. And I don't know where it is growing, and I haven't seen any mango tree. Whether it is a tree or plant, I don't know really. So I'm guessing it may be a tree. What I know, the taste. And I am attracted to the taste only, but only one aspect, taste. And I like it. I enjoy it. I keep eating. It looks like my relationship with the Quran. As long as I realize my need, that I am in need of something tasty, get in touch with it and chew it and get the taste, and also satisfy my material bodily need as well. I don't know many things about it. Many. I know only 1% of it. Now, human spirit, that is what we should understand. Human spirit is in need of connecting herself to its creator. Well, he wants to have some sort of security in his existence, understanding that, realizing that he must make his existence meaningful. How can I make it? If I make my existence meaningful in terms of this worldly life only, it seems to be so unsatisfactory. So what I do, I just say, yes, I want something to have here in this world, but what I really need to attach myself at least to my creator, whoever he is. And in my hand, I have the Quran as an ordinary people, ordinary man I'm talking about, which is called in Arabic, awam. So ordinary man. I'm taking the Quran in my hand and reading it, feeling and understanding that I am connecting with my creator through his speech. That's what I believe in it. I accept it. Like I am connecting myself with the mango through his taste. I need it. As long as it satisfies my essential need, of course, mango doesn't satisfy my essential need, by the way, but it's an example, just a metaphor. So as long as it satisfies uh, my need that I am connecting with my creator through his speech, it doesn't mean that I don't have to understand what it is, but it is better if I understand, appreciate it, if you understand how mango grows, how wonderful chemical reactions are happening in it, how wonderful design and order, perfect balance, purposeful activities, full of wisdom, mercy, compassion for human needs, and correspondence with my feelings. I need something tasty. I have been given the tool to taste, and also something tasted there uh, presented to me free of charge. Of course, mango is created with no charge at all. It grows on the tree every year. It comes again and again and again. And the farmer says, this land is mine. It is a false claim, by the way. It's not yours. It belongs to the owner of the earth, the creation, but inherited from somebody else, but claims that now for the moment I am the owner, okay, and then says, I am a mango producer. No, you don't produce, man. Behave yourself, because you just stay there. Maybe put some water. Maybe nowadays they are just taking care of the diseases, illnesses that chemicals may cause. This kind of problems he may deal with, but in the creation of mango, he has nothing to contribute to it. Nothing. So he has no right whatsoever to claim that I own these mangoes. In reality, we know that. So it is freely given to me. Why? I understand from the way that it is created, wonderful things are going on there. All these wonderful things are pointing to me that the creator of mango is really communicating with me. So when I read the Quran, I feel the same thing. The speaker in the Quran is communicating with me. The same thing, same mentality. Even I didn't know nothing else at all. That connection is essential to my human need. We have to understand this. But if I know the content of it, which kind of message it gives me, how this message really satisfies and addresses my needs, of course, I will appreciate more because I have been given the ability to do that. But to my laziness, I may not they have done it, but still just feeling the connection with my creator through his speech. That's what I conclude myself. That's enough to connect myself, and I feel the satisfaction with it. Apart from this eloquence quality of the Quran that the normal people don't understand, but as they connect themselves with it, read it, they feel the smoothness of the language, the uh, we say rhymes in it, and then some words are familiar. Now the Quran is speaking about paradise, Jannah, hell, Jannah, and believers, non-believers, kafir, this kind of familiar words locates me where I am and what is that. Oh, God must be really warning us not to be a denier, etc. General acceptances still makes me close to it. If someone reads the Torah with the same attitude, does he get the same pleasure? Look, my job is next to a Jewish center, and on the same corridor, we share it. I see some Jewish, sincere young people reading the Quran, the Torah. They read the Torah by standing and how do they do it? Shaking the body, not really going to bow. You must have known it. So just shaking it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That is the rhythm they get. They get a pleasure. Is it something wrong with it? Not at all. They get a pleasure, same thing. But when you go into the deep, the problem rises. Otherwise, there is no difference to me. Reading the Torah and reading the Quran. There is no difference to me. And also Torah has some sort of sweetness in it. That's what I feel. I don't know Hebrew language, but they read it in Hebrew. So this Hebrew language looks like Arabic language. There are many, when they recite some verses from Torah, knowing some sort of Arabic, so I can guess the meaning. That's so close to each other. In fact, in Arabic, original Arabic, there are many words borrowed from Hebrew. Hebrew is ancient language, more ancient than Arabic. The linguistic people know it. So they are sister languages. They have the same pleasure. Okay. But the more we become familiar with the Quran, the more it becomes to the reader that there is a difference. A little bit, but depending on the content, depending on the emphasis of the subjects, depending on especially defining God, who the creator is, who is speaking in this text. So my relationship with the creator becomes more and more meaningful as far as the connection with the speaker of the text is concerned, how the text is really conveying and defining the creator. These are the details now. I'm just saying, blank, ignorant man learned how to read the Quran only, and with this state of mind, reads the Quran, gets the pleasure according to the capacity of his realization, according to his capacity. So we shouldn't really blame them. Oh, you are reading the Quran without knowing what it is saying. What benefit you get from it? Connection is a matter of very important thing. Security, to feel his existence that my creator is speaking to me. That is really enough to get engaged with the Quran or with any sacred source in order to satisfy human essential need. Thank you. There are other points about the second paragraph. Yeah, okay. Just I am stopping.
Yeah, go ahead, please.
Okay. Do you mean, Dr. Ali, in this case, though, that you don't, you're not referring to somebody who maybe has the potential to understand, to really reflect and understand the ayah, but just, and then are failing to do it? Because in that case, it does seem like a fault. Because how can we bear witness to something that, we're not trying to understand to our fullest ability? Whatever that ability is, that seems like our responsibility.
I mean, I didn't mean at all that we shouldn't try. For example, from the way you speak, I know you for many years before, but you understand, you and I, let's say all the people are here, understand that they have to look into the meaning, and they can study something as much as they can. But the more we study, the more we appreciate and start seeing the difference between other texts. Of course we should do. It is our duty. What I was talking about at the very minimum requirement in order to engage oneself with the Quran is also a way of satisfaction. Giving the example of just for the taste of mango I am eating, I am not realizing any other qualities manifested in its existence. Only the taste I get engaged. No one says that, oh, come on, can you eat this miraculous creature, which is mango, just to taste it? Do you like the taste? That is why you are eating it. No one blamed me so far. Just to taste, it is really an insult to mango. In fact, it is, but that is enough reason for human beings to get engaged with the text, as long as they realize one minimum requirement, which is, I need to connect myself to my source of existence. Then this book is his speech, so this is my means of connecting with him by repeating his sentences.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't understand, doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that you and I shouldn't study. Come on, I blame.
Yeah, I know you're not saying that. I was just, I don't know. I felt that I just wanted to drive this point home, but I also wanted to say about, I'm forgetting now. It'll come back, inshallah. I'll bring it up. About your last point. You said, what was the very last thing you said?
The minimum requirement is that I need to connect myself with the source of my existence.
Okay, this is right. Okay, what about the attitude that some people have when they're reading the Quran and they say, okay, this one is talking about the kafir, well, that's definitely not me, so it doesn't apply. This one is talking about a matter of fiqh that doesn't yet apply to me, so there's nothing I shouldn't even pay attention to it. This one, just the attitude of not seeing the Quran in its entirety as a message for you, but only looking for some spot in it that might be related to me. What would you say about that that approach? I've seen that a lot.
For you want to say?
Sure. So what I understand from your comment is that the different attitudes presented in the speech of God, I may sometimes apply some of it to myself. The rest is like, oh no, that doesn't apply to me. Oh no, I can't be Pharaoh. I'm just the Moses one, or I'm Abraham, but I cannot be Goliath, for example. So that's also, and others can chime in as well. What I understood from what Dr. Ali said is that's also like a minimum requirement where for something to be the speech of the creator of the universe and my creator, then by definition, it speaks to me in all aspects of my creation. So because I have different side to me, and and that potentiality is within me as well. The pharaohic potentiality, I mean, is always with me. The dark side.
This life, living is dynamic.
Yes.
Every moment we are given different experiences. We go through different feelings. Our thoughts are different. Our sense of feelings are changing. So yeah.
Exactly.
We play the roles interchangeably at every moment.
Very true.
Which is why consciousness and everything is what is given for us to reorient ourselves. And that's why the Qur'an is there for us to engage with, because we are looking for, just like the analogy, beautiful analogy of the mango, which is a miracle by itself in creation, and the meaning and message the Quran brings, at least for our day and age, in terms of in this situation, in this environment that we are living in, a deep engagement is, I feel, is necessary with all the information that is out there.
Yeah, and I agree with that, because I'm always prone to falling into the other side, which I don't want to. So like you were saying with the feelings and emotions, it happens. And that's why one has to always keep checking themselves. I know Brother Ali always emphasized this, and it's like a human need. Yesterday's gone, this morning is gone, but like new clouds are coming in, new thoughts are coming in. And so I'm always, I always need to be on guard with, I guess, the choices I'm making. So to answer your question, yeah, I would say that if I just say, just this aspect of an attitude being spoken to in the Quran, then yeah, that's to me at least is also a minimum requirement, because just like Asim said, the feelings are dynamic, right? So next moment, I don't know what may come in. So the speech would apply to me as well. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Faria. Anybody else would like to share comments, thoughts?
Sometimes I feel like, yes, like that there could be a story that's speaking to multiple parts of me. I mean, I don't mean to seem like overly complicated, but for example, on Monday when we reviewed I found myself in the story of Musa, with the scenario with Musa alayhi salam and Pharaoh and Harun and throwing down the stick. I was really thinking, like, where am I finding myself in this story? And I really couldn't say that I found myself, that I could identify only with one person. It could be, it could be the way that within a day's time, I can watch in my own heart several different attributes that are, being displayed from the different people in that story, even in, battling each other. And which one do I confirm? So that might sound complicated, but sometimes I feel like that it speaks to different parts of us, to our nafs, to our ruh, to our conscience, and with that, sometimes it's not even something you could put into words, but that it's like stirring something inside of you. So that's I've noticed. Has anybody else noticed that?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. Thank you for bringing that up. This is a very human condition. We all go through this, and these feelings and emotions are beyond our control. And so, like you said, at a moment I may find myself grappling with multiple feelings and emotion. It's like wearing multiple hats at the same time. And I think what the Quranic teaching and message is really helping us to stay grounded with what our position here is. We're recognizing that, definitely I'm in no control of what is imparted onto me, but what I have control over is what am I. Like you said, attributing my existence to and everything that I experience.
Alhamdulillah. Any other comments? Anybody thoughts? Anyone like Brother Ali? Go ahead, please.
Shall we go back to the beginning, the second paragraph? The first paragraph I think that it is just mostly the claim, so that we have to study and see. But the second paragraph is important to pay attention to the word here, especially this one, especially this which says, while being, the sentence says, observed. Something is being observed in him while being under the gazes of the sharpest eyes. Historical references given here. It is very interesting. 2/3 of the Quran was revealed during the, almost 2/3, during the Meccan period. And it was a turmoil in the life of the believers and the followers of the prophet. And people were trying to attack the prophetic message or the Muhammad's message, and in their eyes, Muhammad's claim, they were saying. And they were, of course, feeling frightened as well. Why? The number of the supporters is growing. So they felt, it may be a threat at the end of the day, because this seems to be very attractive. Threat not to the society, by the way, threat to the authority, the chieftains of the tribe, Quraysh tribe. So they were feeling that their authority in the society may be challenged. After all, this man is saying completely different things. What was the most striking message was nothing to do with believing God. The pagans said, no problem. You are free to believe in God, like nowadays. You are free to believe in God, and you are free to follow any religion, as long as you don't challenge the authority of the administrative body. Now, it turns out to be a political matter, political concern. It means the struggle of egoistic imposition on the people. And these are the minorities. Only a handful of people in Mecca were really struggling against the prophetic message. Majority of the people just were following, listening, quiet listeners, and slowly taking into the heart of their own heart, this man is saying something interesting, especially the one who says everybody is equal. No man has any superiority over other because of his lineage. Oh, because of his financial power, because of his knowledge, which is very frightening for the poets. They were just making their life because they knew better than the others, and they were really able to say it in a beautiful way, as much as the people understand beauty in their poems. Financial authority is being challenged. Lineage authority is being challenged. I belong to the noble family of the society. is being challenged. What is going on? Hey, man, foundations of our, if you like, sultanate, our power is being undermined with this man. Who is this man? We have to do something about it. That is why the sharp eyes, gazes of the sharpest eyes were looking for any excuse to blame this man. But this man is living his ordinary life. He's not going to a place in a, for example, cave or secret places and coming up with the written prose of a long poem. No, he just, as the text says here, being just on the third line, I think, come to the second paragraph. Second one, so too the one who is the source of Islam starts with, where is it? Ah, yeah. And so, yeah, correct. The being, here it is, in a sleep-like state when it was revealed. Huh? During a very real living conditions, not at night composing a poem and reading it out in the morning. No, 23 years period of revelation, he was within the people, mixing together with them, hanging up together, and suddenly this man falls into some sort of sleep-like state, or loses his consciousness, becomes sweating and something. This verse is revealed to me just, he was unconscious that time. He cannot be really composing the sentence, and he says this sentence goes to after that sentence, as if doesn't know where it will go. And that's what he was instructed by the one who brought the message. And at the end, towards the completion of the revelation, you see that the sequence of the teachings of each chapter just follows each other. If you know the meaning of the meaning in general, and if you memorize the Quran by following the meaning of the verses, you will see that every verse is following each other by confirming the general instruction of the teachings. It is as if they are written in one night, but they were, if you like, composed during the 23 years of period of life. And one of them is 10 years ago, the other one is 5 years ago, the other one is 11 years ago, and on top of each other, mixed up, but at the end, a perfect body. 23 years time. Of course, the state of being in a very unconscious way, or the sleep-like place, moments during very real time, living with people next to them. He's not writing anything, he's just reading out it as he was instructed. That is a great sign that they couldn't say that he is just really a very good poet. His poetry, power to write poems, was known to the people because he was, as the Quran himself says, your friend who claims to have brought the message to you has been with you. He is not really trained somewhere else in Athena and came back. Now, and then coming back with a philosophical argumentation against something. No, he has been with them together, living the same life conditions, living conditions together with them, experiencing everything the society is really experiencing, sharing all sorts of things happening in the society with them. They couldn't really, although the Quran says they told you you are obsessed by jinn, or you are a good poet and making up things, but they know that no one takes it seriously. Just accusations in order to show, demonstrate their obstinacy that they are not going to submit to the message of this man. That is what I understood from the first paragraph that attracted my attention and wanted to share with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Ali. I think Colin has some comments based on what you said. Colin, would you like to read them? Or so Colin says, in times of happiness and sadness, in times of war and peace, hunger and fullness, turbulence and tranquility. The verses of the Quran came over 23 years, showing an internal consistency and integrity that is truly superhuman. And it shows that the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, could have had no part in the revelation of these verses apart from being their vehicle. Thank you, Colin, for sharing those comments.
It's a good point, actually, because what Brother Ali was saying in terms of how the revelation or the messages came to the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, it's not overnight. It came in like periodically, but like a man-made thing, you know, I can pull an all-nighter and compose a text, or just like several weeks and come up with something. So that also proves the way the message has been disseminated. Also proves that, just like Colin said, it cannot be a human speech. Definitely, this is something beyond what I can fathom here. So alhamdulillah, thank you.
Thank you, Fariha. Anybody else would like to comment anything, share anything on this section? Let's see. I'm scanning through to see if we can speak on anything. So this is another hadith, I think, about when the verse is being recited, everything, like everybody gets so engaged, like moths, you know, just it's so attractive. Once you get engaged with it, it's just like if you think about the delicious smell of the mango, it's so inviting, and you start just delving into it. You know, same thing with the message that touches your heart, your spirit. It's so welcoming. Everything is, you know, when Brother Ali used to share that, everything is equal. You're all, nobody's the owner of anything here. You're all under the same Lord of the universe. All your institutions, your worldview is shattered. You know, you may think that you're the most intelligence or the information, the one with most knowledgeable is shattered. Your financial wealth, that value is shattered as well. So that's let's continue with the classes of mankind. So everybody, whatever their understanding is, takes their share of the Quran's instructions. All right, let's go here. I think we spoke about this, like realizing from whom it has come and to whom and for what purpose. Yeah, there was this mention of the distance of two bowstrings. That was interesting. On all beings, the strength and breadth of his belief gave rise to might and raised his power, his owner to the level of the basically every moment, every generation of individuals engaging themselves in the Quran, getting their spirit acquainted with their Lord, engaging in an intimate way to their own Lord of the universe, that they're making their ascension in a way in that connection. Brother Ali, please go ahead.
Yes, this point attracted my attention as well, this distance of two balls. But before this, on the third paragraph, the many people were attracted by the people. We discussed this before. The number of the people by itself is not important, but what is important, that the message of the Quran is received by a certain number of people and enjoyed. It means something to do with practicality side of the matter. It means Quran is not only a theory and cannot be applied to practical life. We discussed this in other philosophical theories, that you cannot really apply them in your life. But the Quran brings an idea, an understanding, an interpretation of the existence of the universe in such a way that you can put it into your practical life. So that is one thing why the numbers are mentioned. And also, that's very interesting to say that the jinn, angels, spirit beings also gathered around it, gathering around in truth worshipping fashion, like moths, or I don't know how to pronounce it, moths, wherever it is recited. What does it mean? Really, it's a big question. The Quran also says that Quran, the jinn, it means that not non-material beings also listen to the Quran. Angels listen to the Quran. What I understand from it, this is a big problem actually among the classical scholarship. How am I going to prove that jinns were listening to the Quran, angels are listening to the Quran, which kind of creatures they are? I have no idea. But what I understand is that I am a little bit, I don't know, I want reasoning. That's why I'm always after. How can I really make it understandable? It's really correct. How can I really engage myself with the Quran in terms of this kind of news that the jinns and angels are listening to the Quran? Now, I say that is my, if you like, if you don't like, leave it. If you like, it my rationalizing this news for me, making it really, yeah, that must be true. This kind of things must be true, which is convincing. It must be convincing for my reasoning. So I say, what are these jinns and angels or this kind of beings are spirit beings represented here, non-material side of this existence. Is there such thing? Of course. My classical lovely example is the book. Does book have a non-material aspect? Definitely. No doubt. Why? The book means paper, but at the same time meaning. You know the classical example. Material side is meaning. And how about me? I have body and I have an immaterial side. which is not known, seen in physical terms. That is, if you like, my angelic side, my jinn side, my spiritual people side, spirit being side is my feeling, all my feelings. Can I show it physically? No. But am I sure such things exist? Definitely. Who denies? It's the most notorious atheist. If you insult him, he will take you to court. He said he really insulted my honor. We said, what is your honor, man? Huh? You claim that you consisted of atoms. Where is honor in atoms? Why do you step on the earth? If the atom has honor, you are stepping on it, idiot man, I would say. No, it is some, what is it? What is it that you are complaining? I insulted him. I split at his face, for example. What happened? Even none of the molecules of my split arrive at his face. I said, to you. I didn't do anything physically. If I say ignorant and stupid man, why do you get angry with me? Why? That shows definitely that a non-material side of human beings exists, and non-material side of the book, meaning that it carries knowledge, it carries exists, and non-material side of the beauty and the way the things come into existence in the world, the order, for example, order. For example, they call it laws. Laws, what are they? Are they physical beings? Not at all. No one can show me the gravity. They just talk about it. No one can show me. No one can demonstrate it to me. The law of freezing heat, I don't know, whatever all these laws they call. They are the principles in coming into existence. These principles are non-material beings, and no one doubts about it. Even the atheists use this terminology without really revealing that they are not physical beings. These really, how do you say, demagogues, make it this kind of, I don't know, tricky ways of presenting the case. When they say there is nothing apart from matter, when they say, but the laws of nature acted this way, what does it mean? The things are happening in this way. What are they? What are you talking about when you say laws of nature? There's nothing there. They cannot show it. They can say, but it is always happening that way. I always go for a walk in the morning. It doesn't mean that there is a law. That is what I always do. That is how always the things come into existence. What are you talking about? They cannot show it. It means this side of the creation really exists. So what the Quran says, I'm talking about this side of the creation, which is called ghaibi side. The man cannot reach within, the human beings cannot reach within their own capacity. So your spirit, your feelings, your human side, not animal side, human side, communicates with the message that he receives or he encounters in the Quran. They listen to each other, they correspond each other. They listen. None of us should say that, are you really denying the real existence of jinn and angel? Impossible. They exist out there, but not in material sense, in meta form. Your understanding, can you really physically show it? Your happiness, can you really physically show it? Are you really denying? You can't. You say, I love this. What do you mean? Love this? Of course we know, or I hate, whatever, I don't like, I dislike, whatever. So these kind of things definitely exist, And the Quran addresses human beings, this side of human beings, and they correspond each other. I want security in my existence. Quran says your source of existence is your support of security. Only He can. The meaning you extract from your creation and from the creation of the universe, the way they come into existence, demonstrates that their source of existence must be infinite one. And Quran says the creator of this universe is an infinite, absolute, ghaibi one. You cannot describe it in physical terms. I say, yeah, that's what I feel. So I listen to the Quran. But I have been given what is a big but. Big but. I have been given the ability to choose, to say yes or to no, to say no. Yeah? Human beings are mostly inclined to say no. I know the children, those people who have children, I hear, they are not here. Okay, from Shahrani family, the children background. The first thing they love to say no. So we have this feeling. I can accept this reality and say no, yes. I can reject this reality, pretend not to be satisfied with it, to say no. I am free to say no. But in reality, it is with me. That's how I experience, and everybody must experience the same thing. Because I am a human being. We have the common feelings, common qualities. So, but the difference between us is how and where we use our free will. We have to watch for our free will, where and how I use them. Otherwise, I can see the communication between my spirit and the message, and I can see the communication between the meaning the universe conveys to me and what the Quran says. They are communicating, corresponding to each other. Their message are completely compatible with each other, 100%. Ghaib must be absolute. Universe says my source of existence is absolute. Quran says the creator of this universe, the source of existence of this universe is absolute. What else do you want? That is an absolute, that's the perfect example or demonstration of the reality that in front of your understanding, not your eye, but your basira, not basar, the eye, but basira, the insight that you can understand with your human sight. That is called insight. Human sight, not body sight, eye. So we cannot really deny this reality that the jinns and angels, that this kind of beings, whatever they are, they must be listening to the message of the Quran. And they are more than, I think, welcoming the message of the Quran. The human beings are, because we are really obstinate creatures and we love to say no. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Ali. Anybody else would like to comment? Say anything? We have a few minutes left, inshallah. Yes, Brother Ali.
To say, I would like to say something more about the distance of two bowstrings.
Yes, thank you.
The honors, it is honor to the level of the Islam, and raised it is honor to the level of the distance of the. It's very simple. It is very simple. If only we understand the distance between 0 and 1 is infinite, right? But as soon as I understand that 0 and 1, 0 represents not being the source of existence of anything. 1 means being the source of existence of everything, infinite being. We are in need of being created. I cannot give existence to anything but only request. Put my request to the owner of the universe by attempting his demonstration of his will. So you, through your will, you promise me that if I do, this result will come. Please, I want this, and create the result for me. Every attempt is answered immediately afterwards. It means how close the connection between me and the source of existence of everything. How close the connection between me, it lives, nexus to each other. Nexus to each other. I want, it creates. For example, how close the connection between now and a second later, even less than a second later. How close is it? The second moment after now is the demonstration of the creator next to me, gives existence to it. In my createdness, I experience the creatorship of the creator. It means act of creating in me. As long as I exist, he is present in my existence. What do you mean by distance of 2 bow strings? Come on, it is too far from each other. This is what I mean? No, it is too long a distance. I see my connection between me and my creator is next to each other, as if touching or about to touch but not touch, because I cannot jump into next moment by myself. That is why I cannot touch, but he cannot become like me, a created being, because he is the absolute being. He doesn't need his existence should not be dependent on anything else. So the distance between being created and the creator is infinite, because none of the two sides, creator and the creator, jump into each other. But their manifestation, as far as my experience of the reality is concerned, their manifestation is so close to each other that even I cannot measure it. Nano something measurement. No, but theoretically, it is like this. Practically, we said just next to each other. So this Quranic expression, distance of 2 bow strings, the Kabul Kausain, it means 2 extreme ends are infinitely far away from each other. It means diametrically contradicting in their nature to each other. Created, creator. Diametrically contradicting to each other. But if you could get closer and closer and closer, you will start seeing the creator within your reality of createdness. Now, although you cannot become a creator, but you see and realize the creator in your createdness. So two extreme ends came to each other like the ball is when you pull the string, getting two sides together. That is this ascension, mi'raj, which is famous word, mi'raj. That is the ascension of human beings to come to realize the closeness of the presence of the creator in my createdness, despite the reality that in nature, in essence, we are completely contradictory to each other. What a beautiful, miraculous way of demonstrating of creation, letting himself be known by human beings, which kind of creator he is. What a beautiful thing. When we realize this, we perform our miraj, ascension. That is the realization, which is not imagination at all, which is nothing that irrational, but spiritually we experience it. As a human being, I am a spirit yet, but I am experiencing it, and my reasoning says yes. My spirit says I love it. That's the difference. I love it because I want a point of support for my existence. I find the point of support in my existence by this realization. Within this realization, that is why I love it. That's the point I wanted to discuss with you. And as you were reading, I really took some notes in it at the end of the paragraph after said the word of unseen, the word of all knowing of the unseen. Of course, this unseen is a problem word. If you go back also thousands of precious, the end of that. And in the page 162, the following, yeah, okay. Here it is, the word of unseen. The end of the last paragraph, the first paragraph, yes, unseen, the word of the unseen, manifest word and the word of all one unseen. Yeah, I think we understand the word of unseen from one aspect. According to my capacity, tomorrow is unseen. Well, I haven't seen tomorrow's existence according to my capacity, but according to the source of existence, I realize that this source of existence is present in the creation at every moment, present in the creation, because I can only explain the creation by attributing it to an absolute being. An absolute being cannot be circumscribed. No. I cannot say it. You cannot comprehend it if you like. No, I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce this word.
Incomprehensible?
No, you cannot
What was the word for you?
Is it
Comprehensible.
okay? So I think somebody may help me. Something. All right. I mean, you cannot comprehend it. Yeah, correct. You cannot get up. Circumscribe. Yes, circumscribe. Circumscribe. Yes. Circumscribable. Encircle it. So thank you very much. You cannot encircle it. That is why it is unseen to you. Not that you are doubtful about its existence. Not that you are doubtful about its existence, but you cannot define its essence of existence. That is the difference. That's why that is the unseen. So Oh, in the following paragraph, there are these 10 rewards, 10 merits, and 10 eternal fruits, and letters of certain verses and surahs are so precious. Do you get it? Here. Yeah. The one line ago. Yes, that's it. Now, what are these 10, 20 numbers? No, they are, for example, you are, oh, the time is up. Come on. The reminder tells me time is up. Okay. Hundreds and thousands of fruits. Yeah. For example, قل هو الله أحد لا إله إلا الله. Well, I can clearly or frankly share my feeling. لا إله إلا هو. This term saved my life. When I was very young, maybe 15 years old, 16 years old, the first article I published in the school magazine, that simple student things, you know, it was about La ilaha illahu. The first thing I didn't publish, and I presented to my teacher, a literature teacher. He said, okay, we will put it on the cover. So he published on the cover of this monthly student activity, you know, magazine. But who reads it? Only students may share among themselves. That's it. Not important at all. But about La ilaha illahu. Because it was so striking. The news was so striking. You know the price of it? You know, I learned La ilaha illahu, I get one reward. No. I realized when La ilaha illahu, Qul huwa Allahu ahad, what ahad is, infinite. As soon as I realized that, it saved my 70 years of life, if you like. 70 years of life. It means every moment multiplied by 70 billions of moments, my life has been enlightened. That's what we should understand, the fruits and thawab. This very famous, you know, the merit, reward. Everybody knows, I think, the word thawab. So reward. That is the reward I'm experiencing now. What is bonus? Paradise. Because I am already happy with this news. It is everywhere. Everything becomes meaningful for me through this message. Everything that I am engaged with becomes meaningful for me through this knowledge. How about paradise? Oh, that is completely bonus. Nothing to do with the reward that I am getting. That is just bonus from my creator, because I didn't turn my existence into a horrible being. I respected my existence. If I did, of course, if I did, I'm speaking in theoretical terms. Of course, practically I failed every time almost. But this reward, that I respected his trust in me, I didn't turn it into a meaningless stuff or meaningless, I don't know, thing. Because of this respect, God says, okay, I'm going to give you an eternal happiness. That is his bonus. But already I have entertained my reward here millions of times. So every message that I get from the Quran definitely is a source of cure for my human anxieties. I think, yeah, this is what my notes are all about. Inshallah, I'm done with my notes. As you were reading, I was taking notes. Thank you very much.
MashaAllah. Thank you so much, Brother Ali. Alhamdulillah. Bil Alameen. Any final comments by anyone before we close, inshallah? This was wonderful, actually. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين بحرمة الفاتحة.